Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? A early show tonight, very early, 8:30 Eastern Time, 5 o'clock, 5:30 if you're on the Pacific side, but it's for a reason. It's because I want to go over what happened. It's been a big day. I woke up, it's like everything happened, the whole world changed. Like there's people that have been found guilty, there's updates and things that we've been waiting on. It's been a it's been an eventful several hours that I've been up this morning. It's been non-stop since I woke up, including yes, including a new update in the HCSO, Harris County Sheriff's Office, investigation into that Cypress house fire and death. That is really important. It's something I've been pushing on for, I don't know, it feels like since August. I think that's when we had the first press conference. So we actually got a really big update today. Now I have posted it to my social media, to Twitter and Facebook. It is very, very interesting. I'm not going to play all of it unless I'm guessing everyone's already seen it, but I will play some of it, at least the first part, and then when the lead detective is talking, I will, and the FBI fella, I'll let you listen to that too. But yeah, really good update. Then we have this. This is the CCTV. So this is what they released today. This is what we've been asking for about half a year. This is all we've been asking for is just something that the public can go off. Something, anything. If you haven't arrested someone in half a year, maybe you need some public help, right? Maybe you need some help from the public. And finally, we now have that, including this new CCTV. So I'll tell you what you're watching. What you're looking at here is this dark colored vehicle. And then earlier on, there's a guy that's walking around. They believe this car is the one that brought the guy to the area. Then he must have got out at some point, and he approached the house where those 3 people were killed. And this car just keeps driving around the neighborhood for like ages. It's not a short period of time. And you can see they just keep driving around, sort of. They described it as casing the area, but I don't know. It looks weird to me. Maybe you can tell me what you think. But these are from all different cameras in the neighborhood, and unfortunately, you know, they're not super close. Although Ping believes they have other video that they haven't released to the public because it jumps. It jumps a few times, not between homes or between cameras. It jumps within the same footage a few times. So I don't know what they've cut out, what they don't want us to see, but I don't know. I don't have that footage. So, but yeah, you can see that dark colored car still driving around, still driving out that neighborhood. He's still going. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. So it does that for ages. Here you go. They end up entering that street. They come through here. Here's that car. So this is the I'm pretty sure if I'm mental, but this is where the home is right here. This is where the home is. And then yeah, so all right. So this is supposed to be after the shooting and the fire is set. So this is at the back of the property through that sports complex, and then there's a playground on the other side. And you see the guy, he somehow made it through here. He's a very dark shadow in your top right corner right now. Let me see if I can make this. Can I make this bigger? There we go. He's creeping along that fence line, and then he gets into the right there, and then he runs through the park, and then he gets to the road, or he goes through the playground, and then he gets to he gets through that playground that's here, jumps the fence section here, and then that car comes back and picks him up, and then they take off, never to be seen again. Here you go. Here's that car, comes flying down the road, turns his lights off. The guy gets in and, see, that's very interesting, actually. Let's go back. There's a car. I don't know if it's involved. I have no idea. But there is a car that sees them. Right there. Right here, there's a car that would have a full-on view of whoever these people were. Or I don't know if he's crossed the road yet, if he's got in the car, I don't know. But, this whoever comes up to this intersection would be a great witness. So I whoever this is, I hope you come forward if you haven't already and tell what you know, because you would have had a great view of these jokers. Um, let's see. And then they as soon as the car's gone, they take off, headlights back on, and they get out of that area, back onto the road, and I think they do a right turn here and then just take off. Yep, right turn, then boot it, and they're out. And that's the last we see of them. That's it. Yeah, not suspicious at all. Like oncoming car and then just no lights. Yeah, that's not weird. Yeah, so that's basically the CCTV. Thank thank the world. In the press conference you're about to hear a little bit more from, you're gonna notice a couple of things. So if you remember we spoke about this, I'll just let it play in the background. There's no audio here. If you remember we spoke about this before, they mentioned that Colin had got this new car, and they believed that that car had been moved sometime around the when this all happened. But today in the press conference, there was no mention of that vehicle. I don't think it was like a Corvette or something like that. No mention of the Corvette. No mention whether these guys did anything to the Corvette, whether they tried to steal it, maybe. I don't know. But they did mention that they believe this guy went in through the back of the home, went through an unlocked door, and then opened fire on the mother, then went upstairs and killed Colin and his girlfriend Cameron second. Then came back down, set the house on fire, jumped that back fence, got out of there, and then you see him running through that park and all that. Um, but they said that in the fire, they did find spent shell casings. They also said they found a firearm that they believe belonged to Colin. And I was like, okay, okay, he wasn't shot with his own weapon, obviously. But I tried to reach out to someone I know, but they wouldn't give me an answer. I was hoping they might tell me whether they knew if Colin regularly carried a firearm. Like it is Texas, like everyone's got guns. I'm not judging anyone. I just wanted to know if that's a regular thing he did. Or was he worried there was a threat? But if he was worried there was a threat, the weird thing to me is why would you leave the back door unlocked? Especially late at night. Why would that back door? Because they said no forced entry through the back of the property. No forced entry. So if you were aware that some people were after you or there was some sort of disagreement, a beef, an argument, who knows? Why would you leave your house unsecured? I find that interesting. And the other thing I would say is that something they did regularly? And had that person been to that property before and knew that they sort of used the back door to get in and out of the property? You know how some people, you ever had those friends that they never use their front door and they're always like, "Oh, come around back," like those type of people? And I was like, well, maybe they just leave it unlocked all the time because, they come and go and that type of thing. So, oh, is that what happened? Okay. That's why they didn't mention it. Previous owner of the red Corvette picked up that morning and was cleared of any involved. Okay, thanks. That's why we didn't hear anything because I was like, it's weird they didn't mention that. But yeah, I do want to know more about that no forced entry. Why it's very early in the morning. It's like 5 a.m. in the morning. To let the dog out? I don't know. Why else would you leave a door unlocked overnight? I don't know the area. I know DJ does. DJ, would this be an area you'd feel safe in leaving your door unlocked overnight? Like, DJ knows this area much more than I do. He would be able to tell me. Although TJ would probably say, "I'd just shoot anyone who comes near my door." I'll wait for DJ to respond. But yes, I do find that interesting. But and the other thing I would say is I do think it's solvable. I really think that now with this footage, um, personally, I think the police and the FBI have a fair idea of who this might be. I think the issue they may be having is nailing down exactly who it is and why. And I think that's probably what they're trying to figure out because these type of press conferences are normally very targeted for certain reasons. Like they say certain things to get a specific response. Like they don't just come howdy for no reason after 6 months and just be like, oh yeah, here's some surveillance footage and we have a reward. No, no, no. They don't do that. DJ says, I grew up with everyone leaving their doors unlocked all over Texas. Now it's not safe anywhere, no matter who you are. So would that be odd to you? That they like it's odd to me. Like I wouldn't do it. There's no way. Mrs. Ping's always like, make sure you lock the door before we go to bed because like I like to leave the like to get fresh air or whatever in the French doors or whatever. So she's always like, make sure you lock the doors. So I wouldn't even do it here in Australia, and that's weird to me. No forced entry. How did they know to go through the back of the property instead of the front? And it's almost like they had been there before. That's what I would say. Almost like they'd been at that property and knew that's how you get into it. It's just very specific, right? Jump the back fence, get through the back door, shoot the mum, go upstairs, shoot Colin and his girlfriend, and then set the place on fire. They did say that unfortunately a lot of evidentiary items had unfortunately gone up in the fire. They'd lost a lot of evidence, and about the only thing they would publicly disclose today was that they did find Colin's firearm and they did find spent shell casings in the home. So not an entirely clever. Well, we'll see, but not. I would have thought if this was a planned hit or something like that, they would have taken that because they would know that that's evidence. I wouldn't expect someone who has done this multiple times to leave behind shell casings because they would know even from watching Law and Order that you know that's a really dumb idea. So that is interesting to me too. Let me see. All right. Let's go. Let's watch a bit of the press conference. I'm not going to play all of it because I reckon you guys have already seen it today. I reckon everyone's already watched it. So
Hello, and thank you.
play some of it for you. And this is courtesy of Fox 26 in Houston. So they're the ones who recorded this. They're the ones who uploaded it, and you know, so it's from them. Fox 26 in Houston. All right, here we go.
Thank you very much for being here today. I'd like to thank all our media partners for coming out for this press conference in search of justice. Today we will be hearing remarks from Sheriff Ed Gonzalez in both English and Spanish, from Investigator Wendy Posadas from the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and from Special Agent Douglas Williams with the FBI Houston, and of course some other of Cameron Richard, Miss Tina Taylor. I'd also like to recognize some of our valuable partners who have joined us here today. Mr. Andy Kahn, who's the Director of Victim Services here at Houston Crime Stoppers, our partners here at the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. We even have Fire Marshal Christensen here herself. Thank you for your partnership, since this was an arson case, as well as the family members of the foster side as well, who suffered significant loss. I do want to say as well and preface that the families do not want to be approached by media after the fact. So we will have individual interviews, but they're going to be with the sheriff as well as our investigative team. I will be sending out, or we rather will be sending out video of the surveillance.
That's the video we watched part of just before. That's the surveillance CCTV /ring footage. By the way, I can tell you that I have spoken to several people close to the family. I've been able to get it. Two of them contacted me. One of them I seeked out on my own, and I can tell you that the police officer, the PIO here, is 100% right. They are 100% don't want anything to do with the media. They want the case solved, but they don't want to come on and talk. They don't want to go on the record for anything. They don't want to give much details, which is understandable. They've lost people in their lives in a very violent way. I get that. But yeah, they're very media shy. But they're nice people. I've spoken to a few of them. Very, very lovely. All right, here we go.
As well as individual interviews with Mr. Michael Foster, Colin's father, as well as Tina Taylor. Without further ado, I'd like to kick it off to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we share some very important information with our community. We stand before you with heavy hearts, seeking justice for Kelly Mastrelli, her son Colin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameron Richard. 3 lives brutally stolen on August 18th, 2024. This was not just a fire, it was a calculated act of murder and arson. This cowardly crime has created an unfillable void in the lives of those who love Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. We will not rest until those responsible are brought to justice. Our dedicated detectives have been working tirelessly, pursuing every lead. Today, we are releasing surveillance footage of a suspect, a tall, muscular individual entering a black 4-door sedan. We believe someone in our community recognizes this person or the vehicle. We know this suspect, this coward, also had help as someone was driving his getaway car. We implore you to come forward with any information, no matter how small it may seem. We are committed to using every resource available to solve this case. We owe it to the survivors and their families to ensure justice is served. We are grateful for our partnership with the FBI Houston. Special Agent in Charge Williams is here, which has enabled us to offer a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of the individuals responsible for this crime. This reward reflects our collective commitment to seeking justice for Kelly, Colin, and Cameron, and their grieving loved ones, the survivors. You can submit tips anonymously through the hotline at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, which is 225-5324, or online at tips.fbi.gov. I would like to thank the FBI Houston and Crime Stoppers. Andy Kahn is here today with us as well for their unwavering support. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to the families for their strength and trust during this unimaginable, difficult time. Lastly, I commend our detectives for their relentless determination in uncovering the truth. To the perpetrators, you cannot hide. We will find you. The families deserve closure, and our community deserves to be safe. Do the right thing and turn yourself in or call in with that tip that we need. Together, we will bring these criminals to justice and honor the memory of those we have lost.
How often do you think that works, where a sheriff comes to a microphone and says, hand yourself in, do the right thing? I mean, maybe like 1 in 100 cases. I mean, maybe you never know. Maybe they've been racked with guilt for the last half a year and they just have to get it off their chest. Maybe. But I don't know if I've ever seen it very often. But yes. All right. I want to get to, where is it here?
Brutalmente arrebatadas, siguiendo cada dólares. Menezes
We'll be speaking.
more information about the.
This is the lead case investigator here. She's very good. Very good.
Good morning. My name is Wendy Posadas. I am the lead investigator in the triple homicide arson case that we'll be speaking about today. On Sunday, August 18, 2024, homicide investigators were called out to the residence that was located at 14602 Plains River Drive in Cypress, Texas. Upon our arrival, we were informed 3 victims were located on the 2nd floor of the residence inside of their bedrooms with defects that were consistent with gunshot wounds. During the investigation, the medical examiner's office conducted autopsies on the victims and was able to determine that all 3 victims were shot multiple times and were deceased prior to the fire starting. My team and I, we canvassed for surveillance video in the neighborhood, and we were able to retrieve video that captured the suspect vehicle as well as the suspect. The suspect vehicle was first seen at approximately 5:30 in the morning in the neighborhood, driving around for approximately 30 minutes. The vehicle stopped at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive, where a suspect exited the vehicle. At this time, we learned that there was more than one suspect involved in this case. One suspect walked southbound on Palos Park Drive as the other suspect drove the suspect vehicle around the neighborhood. The suspect walked south on Palos Park Drive towards the community center, jumped the fence at the community park, and walked down the fence line towards the back of the residence. At approximately 6:05, the suspect entered the residence through the back gate and entered through the back door of the residence. There was no forced entry observed at the back door of the residence. The suspect walked up to the second floor, shot and killed all 3 victims, and intentionally set the house on fire to cover up the crime and the evidence.
Yeah, the way she describes it, especially that first bit when he approaches the back of the home, like, how did he know there'd be a gate? How did he know he'd be able to jump that fence? Like, what if they had like a 15-foot fence? Like, how would you do that? So how did they know that it was that easy? They're questions that Ping has. All right, let's keep going.
The suspect walked out of the residence at approximately 6:11 in the morning, walked through the community park, walked to the intersection of Cypress Wood Drive and Paulus Park Drive where the suspect vehicle awaited. At approximately 6:14, the suspect enters the suspect vehicle and starts driving. The suspect vehicle starts driving eastbound on Cypress Wood Drive. At approximately 6:15 in the morning, the vehicle was last seen traveling southbound on Cypress Rose Hill Road towards 290. The suspect vehicle was observed to be a dark colored 4-door sedan with chrome rims, chrome grille, and chrome emblem in the front. There was reflectors in the back bumper, and the third brake light was positioned on the lower portion of the rear window.
So I don't know about American, I don't know, modified cars or street racing or whatever. I don't know if this is a thing, like some sort of like modification people do. But yeah, why would you have that other light in the back corner of the window? I don't know if that's just a built-in thing on that model. They're not super common here. Like they have the ones in the top of the glass that you know, like those red ones. But I don't know why you would have that. But maybe it's notable.
The suspect observed on camera was a medium-built male wearing a dark-colored hoodie and long pants. We're seeking justice for the families of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin. There's somebody out there that knows something. We're reaching out to those people to come forward and call the FBI tip line or Crime Stoppers. I've been closely working with the FBI and Special Agent Brian Ritchie, whose expertise and resources have been very helpful in this investigation. The FBI has been able to procure a reward money for any tips that leads us to an arrest in this case. I will now pass the podium over to FBI Special Agent Douglas Williams, who is speaking on behalf of the FBI.
I wonder if is there no further way of tracking that vehicle past that intersection? Like, do they not have traffic cameras, or you know how they have like the MOT cameras in like other places like Kentucky, Tennessee, that type of thing? Are there no MOT cameras that can tell where they continued to go once they got onto that road outside of the neighborhood? And what other like, you know, I've seen cases in Australia and some other places, where they've been able to track the vehicle like almost all the way back to wherever they parked, after they committed a crime. They just keep following and stitching together cameras, whether it's traffic, personal, business, and they just keep tracking them together until they figure out where they went. But this one, they just sort of went, oh yeah, he left the neighborhood, and I don't know, where did he go after that? We don't know. Somewhere. Do you know? Call us. Call a tip in. It was in Cypress in Texas. So Cypress in Texas. Almost rhymes.
Thank you.
So good morning. My name is Doug Williams, and I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI here in Houston. I'd first like to start by offering the FBI's condolences to the family of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin, whose life was tragically taken on August 18, 2024. So I am so sorry for your tragic loss. And I am proud and want to thank the partners that are here with me today, from the Harris County Sheriff's Office to the Harris County Fire Marshals, our partners at Crime Stoppers, and the entire team at the Harris County Sheriff's Office who is supporting this investigation. We're all working this case together, but we need the public's help to solve this triple homicide. Today, and the reason I'm here, is the FBI is offering up to $25,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspects who heinously killed Kelly Mascarelli, Colin Foster, and Cameron Richard. If you know anything that might help investigators, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. FBI Houston is committed to helping the Harris County Sheriff's Office bring justice in this case. Kelly, Colin, and Cameron's families and friends deserve all the assistance and support we can provide. FBI Houston frequently assists local law enforcement with a variety of cases. We offer state-of-the-art technology from our world-renowned FBI lab in Quantico. We sometimes embed intelligence analysts at local departments to delve into unsolved cases. And we have dozens of federally deputized local detectives and investigators who work alongside FBI Houston special agents to protect our communities every day. Despite all of these resources, we depend on the public's help to solve many of these cases we work. This triple homicide is no exception. The egregious and violent nature of Kelly, Colin, and Cameron's murders have led us to offer up to a $25,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of those responsible. Someone knows something about what happened on the night of August 18, 2024. Someone has information that can help our investigators solve this case.
I agree. I think it's very solvable. I think that it just needs the right person who saw the right thing just to call in. And I don't think it's like a shot in the dark or, like some sort of like Hail Mary. It's someone has that information and thinks, oh, I don't know. Like I was walking the dog and I sort of saw this car. Maybe it looks like the car on the surveillance, but I don't know. I don't want to get involved. I don't want the cops coming to my house. I don't want to have to be a witness or whatever. I understand that, but if you're just telling them about the vehicle or whatever, they're not going to call you to court for a witness. They're just going to make you sign a signed statement that has been notarized or whatever. They're not going to call you up for that. I don't think anyway. Ping's not a lawyer, but just do the right thing. Like they were saying, it wasn't early enough in the morning where it was like 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning and everyone's snoring in bed. It was right around that time where, I don't know about you. Does your neighborhood have these people that walk their dog at like 5:30 in the morning? Well, my neighborhood does. There's like several older people that they walk their dog at like 5:30 every morning. Every morning they're out there with their little white dog or whatever, and they walk their dog for like an hour and then they go home. Without fail, rain, hail, or shine, they are out there. And I would not be surprised if it is the same for this particular neighborhood, where there are people either going for their morning jog, they're riding a bike for exercise, because maybe they like to go out early when there's less traffic, so they don't have to fight the traffic to get their exercise, right? So there's probably people that were in the area at the time. We saw at least one of them on that surveillance footage. There was that car that was like smack bang right in front of them, just before they took off from the crime scene. So if that person hasn't come forward yet, that would be a really big help. Uh, they are a little repeaty. Flying DJ says, yeah, see, that's odd, isn't it, DJ? DJ says you asked about the cameras, other cameras. This was less than 1 mile from a major highway, Highway 290. I know 290. That runs all across Texas. Would have been many cars on it even at that hour. Well, if you have dash cam from the 18th of August, 2024, please, whatever, don't scrub through it. Just send it in. Doesn't matter what's on it. Let them figure it out. If you haven't sent that in yet, like you're a truck driver, you're an Uber person, or you drive a taxi, or who knows, you're a delivery dude that's taken stuff to the local bakery, or a news agent or whatever. They often do that very early in the morning. Just hand it over. Hand over that dash cam footage. Like, you probably go, it probably has nothing on it. Like, I don't want to go to the police. I don't like going to the police. Just hand it over. You don't know what they're looking for. They could be looking for a second vehicle that they haven't told the public about. They could be looking for a friend who's helping them that they haven't told anyone about, because they want to keep it, within the investigation. So that would be good. Some people archive it, especially places like truck drivers. They do that in case there's a criminal investigation or something that comes up later, like theft or something like that. So a lot of commercial ones, they archive them. So I know that because I've worked on the systems back when I was doing IT. I worked on a truck company IT system, and they just had logs and logs and logs and logs of dash cam. It was like, I think it was like half a petabyte or something. It was massive, but it was like every truck for every day, and it had like tags on it so you could search per truck or whatever. It was a massive system, and it was for liability. It was a liability thing that they, like, insurance companies and stuff, like, so if they ever came back and went, oh, we're not going to pay that claim, we need the footage, or blah blah blah, came up in a police investigation or something, they had that footage. But I don't know if every truck company does that or whatever, but some of them do. Vicky, that is very kind. It's good to see you. I've been worried about you. I've been like, where's Vicky K? I hope she's okay. Vicky, it's so good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. It is really good to see your name tonight. Hey, Mamma Mia, good to see you. Let's see. Vicky says, I finally made a live show. I've been catching the replays, but this is better. Hi, my friend. It's really good to see you. All right, let's keep going. I want to just go down. Well, we'll go down here.
Out there, Cameron.
Really important you hear from the family. This lady, what a lovely lady. Let me get her set up.
Good morning. Tina Taylor, Cameron's mom. It's been almost 6 months. It's been 6 long months. And I think all of our families are suffering. Three lives were taken for no reason. My 4'6", 82-pound daughter was shot to death for no reason. Her boyfriend was shot to death, and his mother was shot to death. And there is somebody evil out there walking around, and they will do it to somebody else, and they will harm somebody else's family. They will destroy somebody else's family. And if you know anything, if you have heard anything, somebody even mentioned something to you, whether you know it to be true or not, please call. Call the tip line, call the FBI, call Harris County detectives. Nobody should be allowed to take a child from a mother or to take a son from a father and a mother, or to take somebody's mother. That's just, it's horrible. And evil cannot go long. God is too good, and it will come to pass, and this person will be caught eventually. But we need everybody to call in, and if they know anything, to say something, because somebody else is going to die if this person is not taken off the street. So thank you.
You know, the hurt that you can hear in her voice. I mean, to lose her daughter in such a violent way, you know, just hanging out with her boyfriend should be a safe activity, right? It should be something that we've all done that. We've all done that at that age, and I don't think any, at least none of us that are here today, were ever gunned down in our home or in our partner's home or something like that. I mean, she's right though. This person was so blatant in what they did. Just walked up to this home, walked in, and killed 3 people, and then had no qualms in leaving those shell casings there and then setting the house on fire to cover up their crime. This is not like someone just got shot in the street, some sort of like personal dispute. This is like this is one of the most crazy. If this was the college one in Idaho, like that was going mental, and within 2 weeks there was like true crimers up there. There was like police. There was people doing like Nancy Grace. This particular case gets like no attention, none. And is it because they're not young? Like, well, 2 of them are, but is it because they're just everyday people that like, do you not care because it's, I don't know, because they're too normal? Is that what it is? There's no freaky thing to get hooked on here. To me, I think anytime 3 people get killed and they can't figure it out, that's a pretty good mystery that the whole true crime world should be like latching onto to try to get this and keep it within the media and keep it you know, talked about. I think it's, to me, it's one of the pinnacle cases of last year. Personally, I think it is. Um, because I just never heard of anything really like this, where people just get shot, where they don't have some sort of back history of like, oh, this person hates that person, and you know, well, we always knew this was going to happen. But I haven't heard really anything like that. Although a reporter at the end does ask about a beef, but I don't know if they're just asking or they have heard something related to something like that. I don't know. We'll hear it in a minute. Yeah, let me try and get, I don't want to play stuff that doesn't matter.
In a community, it's not something we see every day, and we're not going to rest and leave this unsigned, everybody, but her team,
Suspects having any beef with any of the
her team and the partnership, we're all working together. We need to get this case solved. These folks have already killed 3 beautiful individuals, and as you heard from Tina, there's no telling if this person will go and just commit it again. There's nothing to lose at this point, so we need them off the streets ASAP. Thank you. Any questions that we could answer?
Have you determined the motive? I mean, were these suspects having any beef with any of the victims inside the house? I mean, have you figured out why they were being targeted?
Typically with this, look, our main thing is to identify who's responsible. I think that the motive will follow after that, but I'll let Detective Posadas, the lead investigator, answer any specifics if she has.
At this time, we're not able to confirm any motive. The investigation is still ongoing.
Were the victims having any beef with anybody prior to this? I mean,
Like I said, it's still under investigation, so right now we can't confirm.
was there any evidence recovered inside the home that might, be connected to the suspect or anything that might lead to a motive?
We had some shell casings that were left inside of the residence, but besides that, I mean, it was there was a fire, so there was a lot of stuff that was, not there for us to.
What about information on the victim's phones? Anything that might, tip you off to who this might be or?
We're still looking into that. It's like I said, it's still an ongoing investigation. So there's not a lot of information that I will be putting out there at the time.
Was the suspect, were they expecting anybody to come over that morning? I mean, I know you said there wasn't any forced entry. I mean, did they know that somebody might be coming over?
At this time, we don't have any information that leads us to say that there was somebody coming over at that time in the morning.
Was a gun found inside the home or any weapons that were left behind?
There was a weapon found inside, but we don't believe it was the suspects.
Who do you believe it was?
At this time, we believe it was Collins' weapon.
Any other questions? I want to give everyone a chance to come back.
Can you talk about the brazenness of this crime?
There's that comment about Colin having a firearm. Like, nothing wrong with it. I get it. It's one, America, two, Texas. I know a lot of people who carry open carry. That's, just a fact of life down there. I get it. It is really sad though. You know how we've all heard that saying. What's that saying? I need a gun to protect in case something goes wrong. But Paul Colin wasn't able to reach his firearm to do any of that protecting. Unfortunately, in this particular case, it's very sad. What if he could have reached that firearm? I mean, maybe he might have been able to get a couple of shots off. Maybe he might have been able to injure the offender. Maybe we would have had more evidence by now because he would have collapsed outside in the backyard and we would have known by now. But unfortunately, they're just what ifs and stuff like that. But they did find that firearm. So yeah, it's definitely Texas. I get it. I have been to Texas. I understand. I also know Trish, who likes to drop guns in the middle of restaurants, and nobody even looked at her. Someone's like, "Hey, you dropped your gun. Do you want to pick it up?" No one even blinked an eye when she did that. So I get it. I get it. But yeah, interesting. They say they're not sure if they were expecting anyone, but that unlocked back door just is very strange because that plays against the two different ideas I have here. One is that Colin and Cameron were asleep. That's why he couldn't get to the firearm. But then, if that's true, then why was the door unlocked? And if it's the reverse, if they're awake and the back door was unlocked because they were expecting someone, well, how come he didn't reach for it, or did he just not think there was any threat? You would think if he heard a shot go off that he might have thought there was something going on. I'm not trying to blame him. I'm just trying to get into the scenario of like what went down in those few minutes of the intruder, well, whatever he is, entering that property and taking out the three of them. It's sort of odd. Like they said, no forced entry into the property.
I'm sorry, what?
The brazenness of this crime? Can you talk about?
At this time, we're not ready to release much information, a lot of information on this case, just because of how complex it is. So we don't want to give out a lot of information. We're just releasing the surveillance video at this time.
Complex. They don't want to give out too much information because it's complex. That's very interesting wording. Marilyn said Trisha told us a story. Yeah, an Olive Garden. Yeah. She's told that story, I think, about 50 times, but it's a funny story. I'd tell it too if that happened to me. But yeah, there you go. Complex is the word they use. They don't want to give out too much information because of it. So it feels like some of these reporters have more information than what they're letting on. At least two of them asked about a beef with someone else. Don't know if that's related, just saying two of them did ask. And then this one asked whether there was any information found on the phone of any of the victims. That's very interesting too, because that might relate to something like that. Was someone messaging them? Was someone threatening them? Like, is there something there, some sort of communication between two parties that might shed some light on all of this? But Yeah. Let me try and go forward a little bit.
The surveillance video at this time. Yes,
Do you
sir.
believe
you.
any of the victims were
I mean, I think the fact that 3 lives were tragically taken in the manner that it was, again, setting the home on fire and everything. I mean, we see a lot of things every day, but this type of situation is unique where you're talking about 3 individuals. Seems like a targeted attack on these individuals. And so that's what we're here, is to try to get answers. But it was very brazen, and to me, very concerning that these individuals are out there and could potentially harm someone else. And you heard directly from family members just stating that's their concern, is they don't want anybody else to feel what they're feeling. It's been 6 months, and I'm sure they would tell you it feels like only yesterday to them, and it's very real. And so it's very brazen the way it was so premeditated and canvassing, burning, location, shooting them in cold blood like that, just very concerning.
Have you had tips coming in? You know, any substantial leads at all?
We've had several tips come in, and we're still getting tips at this time, and we're still following up on them.
Were all 3 of them targeted or just one person?
It's hard to, a lot of these, we don't know the mindset. That's why I was saying earlier that if we identify who the individuals were, we'll get a lot more answers as to what led to this. But that's why we're here, is we need to get more information. We've gotten tips. I check on this case on a pretty regular basis, and so our team is diligently working. I have full confidence in that, that they're gonna at some point be able to clear this case, but we need the public's.
This felt like a show of force from HCSO. Like there's everyone there. I've seen a bunch of these investigators in other cases. I've seen the PIO before. Obviously, we all know Ed Gonzalez, sheriff. We know him. But it just felt like this was like a monster, just show of force from this department. They just really wanted to, well, thank God I've been calling for it myself, along with several other people, true crime people, media people, family people, people in the orbit of the 3 victims that feel hard done by. So there was a lot of, like, I see if we get that wide shot out here. Where's that wide shot of everyone? There's just so many people here. There's like family members that didn't end up speaking on the other side, even though they said they were going to speak, but they must not have felt like it, which is very understandable. It's very emotional, I'm sure. Let me see. No, they're not going to do the wide shot. There was a lot of people here. A lot. There was a ton of people here. I was trying to find that one. Okay. The ping can't find it. That's the end of that. So let's go. I just want to have another look. Yeah, here's the watch again. So this is what they released in it. This was the FBI. And now that you heard the press conference, let's look at what they were talking about again. Definitely. Definitely. And you see him walking down that sidewalk here. This is not a great camera. It pixelates and artifacts quite a bit. Probably because it's quite dark at the time. You see him walking down the street. That might be the best shot they have of him. Just here. It's not great though, is it? It's not a great shot. Yeah. But why walk? If you have the vehicle there with you, did he live nearby and call his buddy to meet him there? Is that what happened? Like, why walk if you've got the car? That's something that needs to be talked about too. Why is he just walking around? So that makes me ask what I just said before. Did he get there a different way and this car met him there at the location? Because that's weird. And then they just sort of do this. They just sort of drive around. Do they know where Colin lives? Do they actually know for real? Or is it just... I don't understand. I don't understand why they're driving around for so long. The police said casing the area, but are they just trying to make sure there's no one walking a dog or something? it's almost like they're looking for something. Like you see them sort of slow down, they speed up, they sort of go down a different street, and they come back. It's really, really odd. And then some of this is during the time of the murders too. So the guy's probably just trying to keep himself busy while his friend is committing a heinous act. And that's the street there. Security light goes on. It's a real shame that they don't get a. I don't know if this light coming on ruined their chance of getting a tag number here with the reflection from this bright light, which is a shame. It could have been a fake tag too. Maybe they. Is that a cop car right there? I don't know. It could just be like a security car. Yeah, it's a shame that none of these cameras seem to have picked up the plates. Yeah, there you go. There he goes. Jumps over the back fence. Goes through this like aquatic slash, you know, tennis place. Goes through there. Goes through the pirate. Is it called the pirate? I think it is. The pirate ship. Goes through the playground. And gets to that main road again. Gets in that car and takes off. It's a highway patrol. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If it was a cop car, yeah. Didn't seem to spook them at all. Knowing that there was a cop or something just around the corner. Didn't seem to phase them at all. And then they take off. They take that right and they're out of there. So at least 2 people. At least 2. They don't know how many were in the vehicle. They know one that went in and committed the crime. At least 1 driving. Don't know how many are in the car. Very tinted windows. No make and model for the vehicle. No make and model, but it's some sort of 4-door, dark-colored sedan. So there we go. There we go. I hope this is one of these press conferences with a, they do these big showy press conferences, and then like 3 days later they arrest someone, and the reason they do them is to apply pressure to see who they're looking at, what they do, and I'm hoping it's something like that. I'm very optimistic. I'm always optimistic that we're this close to solving every case. So that's my hope, is that this is something to see what they're doing. Maybe they got a couple people under surveillance and they want to see if they start freaking out a little bit. Hey, my friend. Wait, did you say you just got home? Did I see you in the chat before? Hold on. I see burnt popcorn. Did I see you at the start of the show, my friend? No, I didn't. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's never going to go away for that family. It's never going to go away. I don't even know how you quantify that in your mind, that whether it's your nephew or your sister, whether that's your daughter who was Cameron, whether that's your friend or whatever. Just 1 minute they're here and the next minute you get a phone call that they're dead, and someone who they don't know has not broken into, there's no forced entry, walked into that home and shot and killed all 3 of them, and then set the house alight to try and cover up their crime, which so far has sort of worked. So far. Let me show you some of those fires. I'll see if I got a photo of when it was fully engulfed. if I'm 100% right, it's this one. Let me see. No, that's not it, is it? Okay, that's not it. Hold on. There is a photo. I don't know if I have one of it alight, but I can show you the aftermath of it. So here's what the house looked like the next day. And you can see there was sort of like I don't know if this was like a Juliet window up here. So you know what a Juliet window is? That's sort of what it looks like. You got that bar in front of here. I'm not sure if it was, but sort of looks like it. But you can see a lot of that damage was to the top. If we can find that other video, some of the windows got broken out from the fire. I'll see if I can find that video because there's one video where they have the door open and you can kind of see where the fire was and when the fire wasn't. A lot of it seemed to be contained to the upstairs area, or at least a majority of it. Let me put the house number in. It's once. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take you back to last. This has some
Tonight,
views of the next day.
we're learning more about the people found murdered in a home after someone set it on fire in Cypress.
Well, the victims, a mother and son, and his live-in girlfriend. ABC 13's Alex Bozargian spoke to that young woman's friend tonight.
The fire likely started upstairs, according to investigators, and they say that's where Colin Foster and his girlfriend Cameron Richard were found. Foster's mom said to have been found downstairs. According to Richard's friends, she had just moved in here, and she and Foster had plans to find a place of their own.
She was just a very sweet person.
Despite their 15-year age gap, Crystal Heidkamp and Cameron Richard came to be friends. The two first met in beauty school, Heidkamp reading off her last text conversation with the 21-year-old before the unthinkable happened.
Like, hey, it's a long shot, but would you be interested in getting your hair cut for as a model for me, like, you know, when I start taking models? And she said, absolutely, like, duh. And I was like, so excited about that. It was literally like 2 days ago.
Richard was living in this now boarded up home with her boyfriend Colin Foster and his mom Kelly Masciarelli. Yesterday, all three were found dead inside the home. Arson investigators and Harris County Sheriff detectives coming to two conclusions on scene. The fire was set intentionally and the three victims were murdered before it started. And the coming three were found dead inside the home.
I think it's right here. If you look through this door when it's open, you'll see the downstairs area doesn't look as like, I mean, it's burnt, but it's not like you can still see paint and things. It's not completely like charcoal. Upstairs is just ruined. Obviously, this is where the bodies were found, but yes. Yeah. That's the view I wanted to show you very quickly. Anita, hey Anita. Says, I think it's someone who was a friend who's been in the home. I'm wondering if one of the nearby homes had activity on and they were waiting for a clear chance, possibly. I do think it's odd that they knew about the back. To me, that's one of the strangest things about it. Like, that's a big risk, right? What if you don't get in through the back? Like, that's a calculated risk. If you're going there, so you put yourself in the mindset, I'm going to go to a home. I'm going to shoot people, right? This person, whatever, they've done something wrong by me. I'm very mad. I'm going to go there. I'm going to shoot these people, and I'm going to set their house on fire. So I'm going to jump the back fence. That's a really risky endeavor. Like, if this was some sort of random crime, you don't know if they got a dog. You don't know if they're like, if you can even get back out. What if they had stuff on the other side of the fence, meaning you couldn't climb back up? Like, some fences have that smooth, like, I don't know what it is, bamboo and stuff like that on the other side. So you literally can't climb it. It's so slippery, and you can't get a grip because it's spiky on your hands. how just a calculated risk. It's very strange that they would be very comfortable to go that way instead of try to go through the front. Yeah, how did they know that? That's a big one. The second one is, how did they even know they'd be able to get into the house through the back, yet alone not get trapped in the backyard somehow? Um, yeah, so I'm sure investigators will either already know or are looking into that particular reason, because that goes to like the psychology of the person who perpetrated the crime. It is a bit strange, but yeah, an update out of nowhere. Ping is very happy. That's all I've wanted since August, is something for the public to go on. Anything. I wouldn't care if it was a picture of the guy, like, from that surveillance footage. They didn't even have to release a video. Just something to say that, one, they haven't forgotten about it, and two, it's not a cold case, they're still working it, and three, here's something the public can help with. This is who we're looking for. I'm glad that finally happened. Half a year is a long time. It's a long time for that family to just, I'm sure they're getting better updates, very personal updates, more than we are, but at the same time, I'm sure they would like action. They'd like the public to help and try and track whoever this is down. Like the sheriff says, I don't know if we played it, but they were appealing to the people in the car. They were like, well, you can either be a witness, you can come be a witness for us, or you can be on the other end of a triple homicide, charge, like a conspiracy charge. So I would appeal to that person. If you're in that car, think very carefully about your next action. One will have you spending who knows how long in a Texas jail, possibly with the DP, possibly with the death penalty. You may be on death row 24 months from now. The other one is that you can be a witness, and you might have to, tell on your homie or whatever, but hey, probably don't want to be friends with a homie if he's the one committing quadruple or triple, triple homicides while you're in a car, right? I'd much rather be a free person than to have to go do a 40-year stretch in a Texas prison because your buddy got overexcited about something that really didn't matter and decided to, get a little too excited with a firearm. So think very carefully if that is you out there. If you're following this coverage, you're on YouTube, you're watching all the stuff, seeing how close they are to you, seeing if they know anything about you. Think very carefully, because your life could change like that. They could figure it out. They could get a hint. Someone could call in and say they saw you, and they're going to kick down your door at 5 a.m. in the morning and come and get you. And then your opportunity to like, to help is probably over, because they've probably already got the charges for you. If they boot in your door, they've probably already got charges lined up. So think very long and hard whether you want to be a witness or you want to be a co-defendant. That's the choices here. There are no other choices. The other choice is you can run for the rest of your life. That's it. And they'll probably still track you down. Those marshals do a great job. They track down people that are way smarter than you. Way smarter. They've tracked down people 25 years later. They tracked down that lady last week who's like, she killed her husband and then she went to Mexico and she killed the guy there. And then they were like, she somehow got to Canada and she died in Canada, but they end up tracking her down. So let's hope for good news. Let's all hope for a big breakthrough in the Cypress murder / arson investigation for Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. I think, that'd be a great start to 2025 if we could get them some justice and start that court proceeding against these people who did the crime. That'd be great. All right. It's been a big day in true crime, a really big day. There's been so many things go on. It's been a good day, actually, sort of good. It's never good when people die. But it's good when we get justice or updates. And today we've had both, including that one in LA. He has been found guilty. Fantastic. It's Hilda and Chrissy, both got justice. Their families should be very happy, and I'm going to take you there now. If I can load it up. Good work, Ping. Good work. What great news out of LA a few hours ago. Great news. Very, very happy. Let me try and load this up. All right, here we go. It's paused. Sorry about that.
Man is convicted in the murders of a model and her architect friend. A jury found David Brian Pierce guilty in the overdose deaths of 24-year-old Christy Giles and 26-year-old Hilda Cabranes Azola. Prosecutors said masked men dropped the women off at separate hospitals in November of 2021.
I'm a nurse.
It's great news. It really is. Anytime we can get a conviction for someone that's such a pig, I am all for it. I am very happy. We spoke about him last week. That's David Pierce. He's 42, convicted in the deaths of Christy Giles and her friend Hilda, both dumped at separate hospitals in LA on this. Well, it was about many hours apart. They just sort of threw them in the car like there was some sort of trash that they were dumping at the tip. And yeah, so he was also convicted of those 3 counts of forcible R word, 2 counts of sexual penetration by use of force, 1 count each of R word of an unconscious person, and the S word, that's not the one that means you leave voluntarily. It means the one that's very related to the other things I just said, by use of force. With all the SA charges involving alleged crimes against 7 women between 2007 and 2020. So we got almost a clean sweep, although it says here, the jury was unable to reach verdicts on charges against the co-defendant, Brant Walter Osborne. He's 45. He was facing 2 counts of being an accessory after the fact. LA Superior Court judge declared a mistrial on those charges after jurors said they were hopelessly deadlocked. That's not great. It's not a great thing. The prosecutors haven't said whether they intend to seek another trial against Osborne as of yet. But they said sentencing for Pierce was scheduled for March 13. He's facing up to life in prison. That is great news. Great news. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. That is a very quick turnaround. What is that, like 2-3 days since they were impaneled? 2-3 days. Very happy. All right. Yes, I believe they knew the home. Did we get kicked off the air? That does happen sometimes. I feel like everything's frozen for me. Maybe I did. Let me go over here. By the way, I don't have an up. Yeah, actually, what's going on? I don't know. I'll just keep going. It'll clear up. Let's see. Okay. So I'm not going to do too much on that because I know Trish is going to do it in like an hour. I will just say I'm very happy. And by the way, that show that show Apple Cider Vinegar comes out on Wednesday night, maybe Thursday for you. For Belle Gibson, I think that would be a good watch for all of you if you can get it on Netflix. Okay. All right. I want to show you something from Victoria. I hope it'll play. Hopefully it'll play. Hold on. I want to see what you think about this because I find it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go to 7 News in Adelaide. All right. So apparently, 7 News in Adelaide have said this woman marched into a classroom in in Adelaide, South Australia, and threatened a child who was bullying her daughter. Let me know what you think. Let's watch it.
I'm a f***ing actor. Hey, no, shut your smart mouth. Hey, who do you think you're talking to? You wanna go, bitch? You wanna go? You wanna talk to my daughter again? I'm your worst nightmare, bitch. I'm your worst nightmare. Yeah, you ever to my daughter again? I'll see you I'll be waiting for you. No, don't you with me. Do you know what? 12 months I've had emails this school and I've done nothing. And that smart little over there, yeah, you know what? You're just jealous because you're a Hey, you're a You ever to my daughter again? I'll see you and I'll
So that woman marched into that classroom and was threatening a child that she accuses of bullying her own child. I want to know what you think about this because I find it very interesting. A lot of parents have threatened to do this, and the reason is a lot of people believe these schools are not doing enough to end bullying in their institutions. They believe that the schools just sort of, oh, kids will be kids, they'll sort it out, and we've seen it escalate into some of these children actually taking their own lives eventually. And I wonder what made this mom get to this point where she felt the need to barge into that classroom and threaten a little girl. It's very very confronting. And I heard another thing that said the mother said that she had expressed to the school several times that her daughter was being bullied and that no one was doing anything about it. And the sort of uh the repercussions for the people involved were minimal. Sabbath said, how'd she even get to the classrooms? I don't know. I'm not sure how she got in. Maybe she was there to pick up her child or something, or it was like drop off time, maybe. I don't know. Ben Holcomb says, I don't blame the mum at all. Sean says, let me at her. Is this what it's going to take for these schools to actually take it seriously? I thought we dealt with this like 20 years ago when they did all those programs like don't bully and be a person who sticks up for other people and report bullying and zero tolerance and all that type of stuff. But it doesn't seem to have done anything. All it seems to have done is made the bullying worse. It says here, a mother has been filmed inside a classroom in a violent spat, threatening to slit a 12-year-old student's throat at a school in Adelaide's northeastern suburbs. The incident occurred inside a Year 8 classroom at St. Paul's College in Giles Plains on Monday, with footage of the incident being filmed by someone standing at the back of the class. In footage obtained by 7 News, the woman appears to be confronting 2 students over a bullying incident involving her own daughter while threatening them in a violent tirade. and I'm not going to repeat it. We all heard what she said. They said the mother was swiftly ushered out of the room by her husband as a shocked student looked on, but not before she directed another threat at another student. She said, "And that smart little effer over there, yeah, you know, you're just jealous because you're a beep beep." Speaking to 7 News outside the school on Tuesday, parents said they were shocked about the incident. One parent said, "You lead by example. I mean, I'm a fiery person, but I wouldn't do that in a classroom full of kids." And then someone else said, "Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, that's bad. I'm shocked, actually." And a spokesperson for SA Police said the incident was reported to them and that an investigation was underway. The incident has been reported to police and an investigation is underway. They say police will be working closely with the school during the investigation. Thankfully, the student involved was not physically injured. This happened at St. Paul's College, a co-ed Catholic college, which has an estimated 1,000 students from reception to year 12. Principal of that college is called Patrick Harmer, said the school was providing support to students but could not comment further as there was an active police investigation. As this is subject to police investigation, we cannot provide further detail at this time. The safety and well-being of our students is of the utmost importance, and we are providing support to students who may have witnessed the incident. So, yeah, let me know. Have you seen something like this in your own country happen? Have you seen this happen in America? Has anyone run into a school and tried to threaten a child? Anita says a parent I know just had to file a restraining order against a grade school student because the school did nothing for over a year and it was escalating. Interesting. Yes, there was a mass shooting last night in Sweden. That is true. Yeah, I actually saw this before I went to bed last night that there was 10 people killed on a school campus. Sweden's had a really bad problem with gun crime in the last, I don't know, few years. It's been a bit weird. Let me take you to the ABC News in Australia where they have an update on it.
Swedish police say about 10 people have been killed in a shooting at an education centre in the city of Örebro in what they've described as a horrific incident.
Authorities believe the shooter is among the dead. Europe correspondent Catherine Diss joins us now from London. Catherine, what do we know about what has happened?
Good morning, Bridget. Well, look, details are still coming to hand. This is still very much an unfolding, developing story. But what we do know is that a gunman rampaged a school campus in the central city of Örebro just after lunchtime, going from classroom to classroom. This city is around 200 kilometres west of the capital, Stockholm. Police have given a press briefing in which they say they believe about 10 people have been killed, but they are still searching for victims. They said that they couldn't be precise on the number of people who have been killed because the crime scene is so large. They said that they believe the shooter is among the dead, that he acted alone, and they don't believe that this is terrorist related. Now, this is the worst school shooting in Swedish history. Let's take a listen to a school principal who had to flee for their life.
I was eating with colleagues and suddenly a bunch of students came running and said we had to leave. I didn't know why, but I realized straight away that it was serious. So I and a big group of people ran out of the school. And when I was in the schoolyard, I heard a shot close by. But I and others with me just yelled, "Run, run," and we ran for our lives.
And obviously the country is still coming to terms with what's unfolded as information comes to hand. But we've heard from Sweden's Prime Minister, Ulf Kristersson. He's described this as a very painful day. He said his thoughts are with those who have been affected and their relatives, that his thoughts are also with those whose normal school day was replaced with terror. He said that being confined to a classroom with fear for your life is a nightmare that no one should have to experience.
Yeah, awful, awful. 10 people dead. That is a lot of people, especially some of them children. Never want to see those type of events happen, and especially in Sweden. Ben Polcom said Australia handled this gun issue really well after their mass shooting. Yeah, sure. Although the bad guys, I promise you, still have guns, and we still have a lot of gun crime. Like every week, there's a murder of a underworld figure that seems to be shot and killed in a public place in Australia. So we may not have these mass shootings, but we do have a lot of people being shot and killed in the middle of the shopping center, a road, whatever. Sure, it's targeted towards a bad person, but yeah. All right, I want to take you to a different story though, if I can find it. Who's beeping outside my house? Let me go here. So I want to take you. Apparently, there was an Amber Alert. I just want to double check that it's still up and running. 40. Yeah. So it's a 16-year-old girl called Sophia Franklin, and she is missing out of Beaver Dam. Apparently, she's pregnant, and the person she is with has a no contact order with her at this time. So he shouldn't even be anywhere near her. For her own safety, maybe? All right. All right, let's go here.
A 40-year-old Arkansas man now charged with abducting a 16-year-old girl from Beaver Dam.
The Amber Alert was pushed out for Gary Day and Sophia Franklin last night. Bill Miston joins us as those prosecutors from Dodge County have now issued charges.
Yeah, court filing says Sophia Franklin has been in Arkansas with Gary Day as recently as this past December, and that's where police in Arkansas found her as they investigated Day for crimes against children. Now, police need you to look out for this vehicle. It's a black 2014 Buick LaCrosse four-door sedan using either Pennsylvania tags KGW 5186 or Arkansas tags BBR 20L. Police say that Day has been believed to be switching those tags in order to avoid law enforcement. Now, police say the car was spotted Monday morning using a Pennsylvania plate. It was also Monday morning. Police said that 40-year-old Day was seen at Sophia Franklin's home in Beaver Dam at around 7:45. About 45 minutes later, his car was spotted by DOT cameras heading south on Highway 151 near Sun Prairie. Court filings say 16-year-old Sophia is 3 months pregnant, and 40-year-old Gary Day is the father. A criminal complaint says Sophia began talking with Day online back in April of 24. Day came to Wisconsin and picked up the underage girl and took her back to Arkansas, but she was thought to still be in the Beaver Dam area for months until police in Arkansas found her in December, and she returned home late last year. Now, police say Sophia was last seen at her home Sunday night. She's 5'9" and weighs about 190 pounds. Day is 5'7" and about 165 pounds. More than 25 DOJ DCI agents are working alongside Beaver Dam police in this Amber Alert investigation.
We have been getting a lot of tips, and we're following up on those tips. So we thank the public for their help with the tips and continue to report those tips to us. And then we'll follow up on those tips. And the goal at the end is to bring her home.
Again, if you have the information, you are asked to call this phone number, 888-304-3936. I'm going to say that again, 888-304-3936. Police say that you should also call 911 if you have any information about Gary Day, Sophia Franklin, and their whereabouts, as police are looking for them to bring Sophia back home safely.
So yeah, they're both missing. And according to the article I have here from WISN, I got to be careful, bloody Wisconsin news. Got to be very careful with Wisconsin news stations. They're saying Dodge County prosecutors have charged a 40-year-old Arkansas man at the center of a Wisconsin Amber Alert. They say Beaver Dam police believe the pregnant 16-year-old Sophia is with the 40-year-old father of her unborn baby, Gary. Franklin was last seen at her home near 4th and Beaver Streets in Beaver Dam Sunday evening. Day was last spotted in the same area Monday morning. The two have a no contact order. Day is now charged with 2 counts of child abduction and 2 counts of child enticement. They say our goal is to find them in the area, hopefully, or before they go too far away from the area they were last, or where they went missing from. They say Franklin is described as 186 pounds, 5 feet 9 inches tall, with brown hair, blue eyes. Day is 165 pounds, 5 feet 7 inches, with blonde hair and green eyes. Their whereabouts are unknown, but police believe the two are traveling in that Buick LaCrosse. Late Tuesday, police updated the Amber Alert saying Day switched out Arkansas number plates for Pennsylvania plates. The Pennsylvania plates are KGW 5186. They say right now it's unclear how the two met or where they are heading, but Day has ties to Arkansas, and the chief wants law enforcement in the southern state to be on alert. He says we have several agencies that are actually working with us in Arkansas. They're saying, according to the court records, Day's last known address is in Lenoka County, Arkansas. They're saying that sheriff told WISN 12 News that they've been in contact with Wisconsin investigators in connection to the Amber Alert. They say Franklin's family did not want to discuss details of the investigation on Tuesday, but asked for their daughter's safe return. They say it's a priority for police who have a message to the public. They say if you spot the car, call 911. If you see her, call 911. Get her picture out there. Get the information out there that we're still looking for her. If you see something, please say something. Anyone with information is asked to call Beaver Dam Police Department on 888-304-3936. All right. Let me take you to that Amber Alert. All right, here we go. Sophia Franklin, right here. Who is messaging me? No one? Okay. All right, here we go. Sophia Franklin, here is her photo. And there you go. Missing since the 2nd of February. She's 16, female, obviously. Well, you can't know these days, I guess. White, race, hair color brown, eyes blue, height 5'9", weighs 186 pounds, and is description 3 months pregnant. I often like when they do my description like that. They say, did you see that guy? What did he look like? And they went, oh, he's 3 months pregnant. You better put that on his Amber Alert. They said here the vehicle has utilized various license plates. The vehicle was seen on the morning of the 3rd of Feb in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania license plate. That's that one I told you about before. License plate state has now changed from Arizona. Wait, what? Originally he had a Wisconsin plate. Now he had a Pennsylvania plate. Now it's changed from Arizona to Arkansas. How many plates does this guy have? They're saying Sophia Franklin was last seen at her residence at 9 p.m. on the 2nd. She is believed to be with Gary F. Day. He was last seen at her residence on the 3rd of Feb at 7:48 a.m. in the morning. There is a no contact order between the both of them. Yep. Where did he get so many license plates from? He changed from Wisconsin to Pennsylvania, from Arizona to Arkansas. Like, there's so many. Let's go to Gary. So this is Gary. Might be a bit of a PDF file. Well, not a PDF file. The one for teenagers is called something else. Something else file. But that's what he is, because he got a 16-year-old pregnant. And he is 40. He's my age. And he knocked up a 16-year-old girl. I don't even want to be anywhere near a 16-year-old girl. I'm 40. I don't want to be in the same room with one. I'm good. These kind of people are sick. They are very, 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 dangerous people. They say the vehicle has utilized various license plate. The vehicle was seen on the morning of the 3rd in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania plate. Now that, like they're saying, it changed from Arizona to Arkansas. That's it. That's all we have. So there's Gary F. PDF file. He must be. He must have like a screwdriver and he just takes people's number plates off. Yeah. I don't know. It says here Arkansas. Well, it says here Arizona. Hold on. Let me go back. Yeah, look. It says here license plate state change from Arizona to Arkansas. I don't know. And it says here in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania plate, and then it updated from Arizona to Arkansas. I don't know. He's got many license plates apparently. Many. How many? I don't know. He's like a magician. He just keeps pulling out license plates to put on the vehicle. The fact that they're able to keep tracking him though and find out what the new ones are tells me he's not as clever as he thinks he is. They're saying, yeah, he was last seen with his victim. Let me see if I can find anything else on these two. So they issued the arrest warrant only like 2 hours ago. It's not been that long. Here's that vehicle. So this is the vehicle they believe they may be traveling in. And that does have an Arkansas plate on it too. BBR 20L. So it's a completely different plate. They say charges have been filed. Arrest warrant has been issued for the 40-year-old. According to online court records, Gary Day is now charged with those 2 counts of child abduction, 2 counts of child enticement, causing mental bodily harm. All charges are felony charges. They say the arrest warrant has also been issued to court records. An Amber Alert was sent out Monday night for Sophia. Police said Tuesday that Day had already swapped those plates out. Okay. So there's the girl you're looking for. If you live in Arkansas, Wisconsin, I don't know, anywhere in those surrounding areas, and you see this young girl, call it in. Or if you see this bald-headed loser, call that in too. Call in this guy who is a prime candidate for a turkey hair transplant. Call it in. His name is Ryan PDF File Day. That's his name. I'm sure that's what they called him in high school. That's his. It's an old nickname. But there you go. You're looking for him, Mr. Chrome Dome, or you're looking for her, this young girl, who's apparently 3 months pregnant with her abuser's baby. What a combination. Rachel said he must have groomed her. I would say yes. Smart, but from dumb criminals. That's right. Sean said, my cousin was almost arrested due to bank robbers taking his plates and putting his plates on a getaway car. Same make and model. That is very dangerous. Probably traffic cameras. Sabbath said, how are they tracking him and can't find him? Probably traffic cams. They're probably on an interstate, like I-20 or something. Let's see. All right. He looks older than 40. Yeah, he does a bit. Sabbath has said, it's easy to unscrew the plates from other cars. How did he even get near her? They met online. So from what I understand, they met on the internet. So that's how they met. But yeah, they are looking for her out of the area. All right, hold on, ladies and gents. Sorry, I just saw something. That was really weird. Is that my friend? Hold on. Sorry, I just saw a friend's channel pop up and I was like, is that a friend of mine? I was like, did she make a new channel? Let me grab something for you. All right, let me go here to 4029 News and see if they got more information.
Well, police are searching for an Arkansas man they say could be with a missing pregnant teen from Wisconsin. Authorities say 40-year-old Gary Day is the father of the teen's unborn child. He was last seen yesterday at the home of 16-year-old Sophia Franklin. This was in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Now, authorities say they may be traveling south in a black Buick LaCrosse. However, the car could have different license plates. The Arkansas tag number, BBR 20L, but there's the possibility it would also have Pennsylvania plates. That tag number, KGW 5186. If you have any information about where the two may be, or if you see them, call police or 911.
And welcome back.
Yes, there's a thing called a no contact order. Makes it very illegal. About the ages, I don't know. What's the age of whatever in Wisconsin? Let's have a look. Age of No, so yes, there is. Dun dun dun. In Wisconsin, the age of consent is 18 years old. This means that a person must be at least 18 to legally consent to sexual activity. So there you go. Is there something illegal about their relationship? Yes. Yes. She's 16, so she falls under that law, and he is 40. So they actually don't make the Romeo Juliet law if they have that in Wisconsin, because they're not within like 3 years or whatever it is. There's like a 20-year age gap. Wait, no, 24-year age gap. Probably hence the no contact order. Yes. Someone in her family probably reported it. So, yeah. I'll have to fix that later. Yeah, I just reached out to my friend. I was like, "Hey, did you start a new channel?" I was like, "Wow, I didn't know she had a second channel." That's all right. I just randomly came across it. She did the Amber Alert earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, I know that person." Sean says, "Gotcha." Yeah, don't be going to Wisconsin and trying to get any 16-year-old, Sean. Your plans have been scuttled. We have sunk your battleship. Marjorie said he's basically old enough to be her father. He is, right? He would have been 24. He could definitely be his daughter. That's gross. That is gross. Yeah. Yeah. Brother, ugh. No more. I was gonna wait until I'm 80. Why? Just for the challenge, or you want that bigger prescription of the little blue pill? I gotta test it out before I die. I gotta test it out. I'm gonna wait until I'm 80. All right. All right. All right. Let me put a photo back up. This is a this top. I'm not trying to make any assumptions based on how people dress, because look, I'm 40 and I still wear a hoodie every day. But this top looks like I've seen it before. I don't know. Is Wisconsin one of those places that has like a lot of like LDS type people? I mean, it could just be a nice green top for all I know, but it just reminds me of like those ones that people from the LDS, like they make the girls wear in the LDS. Like it's very modest. It's very like up to the neck, that type of thing. Blaze says he's very small for a man 5'7". She's taller than him, I think. She also apparently weighs more than him, which is interesting. Anita says my dad bought a cartoon. It was in a jewelry heist. Savas says Trump is 24 years older to Melania. Of course, they met when she was 26. That's a little different. She was an adult. She can consent to their relationship. She can't consent because she's below the age of consent. So she can't consent to any sexual activity. So yeah, but yeah, you can once you get over 18, you can have relationships with whoever you want. You can get married to a 79-year-old if you want. That's your choice. You're now an adult. You can do whatever you want. You may get funny looks from people, but you legally won't be breaking the law. It looks like Mennonite or Amish have these puffy sleeves on their dresses as well. Yeah, it looks like modesty clothing, and I don't mean to shame anyone for I'm not. I just mean I have seen it before, and it looks very much like that type of clothing. So I wonder if that's what's going on too. Not that they're involved or anything, just that maybe that's why there's such a watchful, close eye on her, which is good. It's good that she's got people that care about her. But yeah, it looks like something like that. It looks like that type of I don't know what they call it. I call it modesty clothing. I don't know what they call it. They probably call it fashion. It's a bit in style. It's been in style for the last year, is it? Old fashioned for a 16-year-old girl. The puffy sleeve thing has sort of been around because I do some shopping for Mrs. Ping, and sometimes I'm like, who would wear that? And they got like all these puffy sleeves, and Mrs. Ping wore a dress that had puffy sleeves on it. That pink one, that had like weird puffy arms on it. Although it looked very nice, but yeah. All right. What time is it? All right, it's 2:14. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you all head over to Trish. It was nice getting on early for once. Hey, Annika, it's really good to see you again, my friend. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's very kind of you. And my friend Vicky K, she was so excited to catch her show early on for once. Vicky, it is so good to hear from you. I was really worried about you. I was worried that maybe you were sick or something. But I'm glad to know you're still alive and you're with us in 2025. Just hold on a little longer, everyone. We're only about a month and a bit away from me returning to this time for winter. So when winter comes along, I will be at the earlier time every day. Today I did it just because I really wanted to cover the Cypress house fire, and I didn't want to leave it until midnight. I wanted to get onto it as early as I could. But yeah, in about a month, we'll be back to the earlier showtime, like right now. So we'll actually switch again. I will be before Trish and not after Trish. So I hope you have a good show with her. I don't know what she's doing tonight. I don't know. Hold on, let me check. What is she doing tonight? I saw something about she's doing the jury selection in Megan Boswell and something about John Benet Ramsey. As soon as they pick their jury and as soon as opening statements are ready to go, I will be covering Megan Boswell's trial like instantly. Maybe even live. So if that's something you want to see, leave a comment. I'll be on at like 3 a.m. in the morning to watch the trial with you. It is a very important case, and I am very interested to see the trial for this particular one because it was right at the start of my true crime career, and I really want to see justice for Evelyn. I want to see that. So thanks, Wendy. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, which I'm sure you are, and you hit that little bell icon and select all, it should give you a notification every day. It should. Hey, JDR, good to see you. April B says, I'll miss the late shows. I know, but I feel like there's a lot of people who haven't been able to make it to the late shows for about 5 months now. 5 months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. I feel like there's a lot of people who can only catch it on the replay. So we sort of switch between, give the other people a chance to have a go and be part of the live show. I really wish we could find a better time, but it's so hard to find a time that works well for everyone. Like we would have to run a poll and then try find what the majority think. I don't know. It's really difficult. Like if I go on too early, the West Coast people can't watch because they're still at work. If I go on too late, the East Coast people can't watch because they're in bed. It's unless I come on at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something, it's difficult. Marjorie said, I'm subscribed and I never get your notifications. I find you by trolling my YouTube feed or by doing a search. See, the YouTube is out to get me. The big brother at YouTube, they don't want me to be a big channel. That's what it is. They don't want me to have 1 million subscribers. They don't want it. See, it's us against the man. Possibly a woman. Could be an octopus. Don't know yet. Don't know who runs YouTube. Could be an octopus. It does make it complicated. It does. April basis, I'll have to find another live show on late. It's hard for me to fall asleep. You could just replay the early show on late. You could replay the early show on the late, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to have a think about it. I don't know. It's very hard. It's hard for creators because you want to make everyone happy. But it feels like no matter what decision we make, there's always going to be someone who is either put out by it, not happy with it, annoyed with it. Like when we switched to the late shows, I'll be honest with you, I got so much hate mail. Not even kidding. There was so many people that were pissed off that I took away the early show, and then when I switched and went back to the early show, there was so many people that were mad that I took away the late show. It's just like you can just never win. You can you can just never win. It's always someone who's annoyed. Hey, that's a different show. That's on Only Ping. That's on Only Ping. That's a different show. You have to pay $14.99 a month on Only Ping to watch that one. April B says there's no one to talk to. I know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me have a think about it. I really wish we could just sort of go straight through from like 9:30 to like 1 a.m. in the morning. I wouldn't mind doing a 4-hour live show like that. But the problem is that I don't want to cut into Trisha's show. I don't want to do that to her. And we have a lot of people who go back and forward between Web Sleuths and here and Web Sleuths. And we have sort of like some people who are like both on both sides. So it makes it a little complicated. If I was like no one and I didn't know anyone else and I didn't, I probably would just do the 4 hours, but I don't want to do that to Trish. So yeah, right now you're making people happy half the time. That's exactly it. 50% of people are happy for half the year, and then the other half are happy the other 50% of the year. That's exactly how it is. Exactly. All right, hold on. I'll just check this before we go. All right. All right. Hey, I love you very much. We'll be back. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back for a late show tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Do I have any more stories? I might do. We'll see. I might be back after Trish, but I heard from Trish yesterday that she's doing a very late show tonight. So she expects to be on past midnight. So I don't believe I'll be back tonight. Maybe not even tomorrow night, because I heard she's doing a big thing for JBR or something. So I don't know what we're doing yet, but I know tonight she may run long. So yeah, I'll see you when I can. I'll see you when I can. Yeah, it's the Ramsey case. Yeah, JBR. All right. You like the early show? I'll tell you what. tomorrow night we'll run a. I'll make a community post, and I'll put a few different times with show length on it, and I'll say, like, 8 o'clock 2 hours, blah blah blah, 8 o'clock 4 hours, and we'll see what the community wants to do. Whatever the majority says, I will go with that in the winter season. Okay, so I'll make that post. Look out for that on the community page, and we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. What everyone wants to do. Remember, I'm here for you guys. Like, that's how it works. Like, you're all my boss basically. So if you tell me to come on at that time, I'm probably gonna do that because more people will watch the show, right? That's how it works on YouTube. I love you all. Have a great night. You got about depends what Trish is doing, how much makeup she has to do, whether she falls asleep trying to make some food. Who knows? She'll be on in about 7 minutes. Good night, everyone. Love you all. See you later. Thank you to those people who donated. I really appreciate it. Annika and Vicky K. It really helps out. And I'll see you then. And justice for the people that we're talking about tonight. Please, someone come forward with information on that house fire / homicide in Cypress, Texas. That would be the greatest gift you could ever give to Ping, is to solve that. Be the person who solves that case. I'd love that. All right. Bye-bye. I'm glad I caught you earlier show. Home from rehearsal. Rehearsal? For what? Are you Disney on Ice? Are you like the Mickey Minnie Mouse or something? Do you go on tour each summer? Is that what happens? All right. Bye.